back with the latest edition of Unlocked, the show dedicated to all things in the West Wales Women's and Girls League. Today we're delighted to welcome another rising star in the female game and another former league player, Aberystwyth Town's Emily Thomas. Welcome, Emily.
Hiya.
Emily, you've been in the press lately. As we heard, you're on BBC Radio Cymru about being back in training and training with the Welsh squad and things. I bet it's been great to be back, but how things been for you during lockdown and how you feeling on finding it being back in training ahead of the new season?
I found lockdown really difficult because I was missing getting into the routine of doing football every day. And obviously when you're not doing football, you're feeling a bit useless because I was feeling like I'm not doing anything, so how am I going to go back to football and feel like I was the same player? So when I started going back to training, I realised, I have missed a lot because I wasn't the same player as I was before. I was missing out on, my touches were wrong. I just felt like all my play had gone. But obviously now I've been back for the last month or so. I'm getting back into the game and I am feeling better about myself. But lockdown, I think a lot of people found it hard and I finding it really difficult to get through everything. But I think it just takes time to get used to.
Yeah, definitely. I think a lot of people we're speaking to are saying the same. It's just it's that just feeling of wanting to get back out there, isn't it? It's just I guess now with the FAW they're giving the green light, haven't they, for female games to start back, and at the end of September with the I know the Ladies Premier League, Welsh Premier League, sorry, you started back. So you're looking forward to the season ahead, and what's the goal for Aberystwyth for this season?
So last year Aberystwyth and me, we finished on the bottom of the Welsh Prem, but it was our first season back into the Welsh Prem, so obviously we're new to playing Swansea and their tempo. But this year we've trained so hard during the week, twice a week. We are hoping to finish mid-table this year or around there, so getting from the bottom and working our way up. But I feel like we can do it because Aber is just like a team. If we work together, you get the results. So we're hoping to finish mid-table this year.
Yeah, that's good to hear, and I'm sure you'll have a good season, I'm sure. So with the Welsh squad as well being back now, so I guess all the focus is kind of going on to the Euro campaign again with the senior team, and I know yourself with the under-17s squad as well. And so what are your aspirations for the international setup for this season?
Well, obviously, we were qualifying in Denmark last September for this year's elite round, which was meant to be in March but got postponed to September. And obviously, because of coronavirus, that's been cancelled. So this year with the Welsh, we have nothing because our qualifiers in Portugal now have been postponed from November to March next year as well. So for this year, we're just training twice a week, trying to get everyone back into shape and back up to the level and tempo. And hopefully we will play then in March, and hopefully we'll win our group against Portugal, Ireland and Macedonia.
Oh, fingers crossed they'll all go ahead as well. With Corona, you never know.
Yeah.
Will it affect you, obviously, with the international setup, the ages, and it goes on the calendar year and thing? Will that affect you if you don't play the games in March, at all, you personally, or will that? Are you all right with the sort of your birth date and stuff?
So this year I was going to be the oldest in the under-17s. I was the 04, so the 04s are the oldest this year. So if our games in March don't go on, I will be moving to under-19s in September then. So I could have missed a whole season in under-17s basically if we don't get the games.
Yeah, of course. So fingers crossed and they go ahead because it'd be a shame for you.
Yeah.
Oh, well, like I said, we're all keep everything crossed for that for you. One of the things that's been great recently seeing all the success stories in the Girls League. It started out now in the West Wales Girls and Women's League, which you did yourself obviously as well. I know you still have strong ties to Johnstown as well. Can you tell us a bit about how you first started as a young girl and in the league, and just how transitioning really into playing for Aberystwyth in the Welsh Premier League?
So I started off playing football in school with the boys. I started playing with them on the schoolyard and I realised, I actually can play this game. So I came home and I was telling my parents about it, and I was really happy that I could actually kick a football. So they took me to Johnstown and I started with under-9s boys because at the time there wasn't a girls team. So I played with the boys all the way until under-11s. And then a league rule came out saying girls can't play with boys anymore, going into the full-size pitches. So then I dropped back in for Johnstown under 10s then. and I played with Johnstown throughout under 10s up to under 16s. And I think we won 5 league cups and like 4 league wins. We won the league 4 times, so it was really big. And Johnstown, obviously, I've been there since I was a little girl, so I still go down there now and help out when I can. So then it came to the last season of under 16s, like last season, and I got offered to go to Aber because they had gone up to the Premier League, and you can have 215, like 215-year-olds go in. So I was one of them who was lucky enough to get picked to go. And then I had to leave Johnstown behind and move on to a new chapter then with Aber, which is gutting to leave Johnstown behind because I've won so many leagues and trophies with them. But now I'm getting to the age I need to focus on myself and not the team. So I need to develop myself, not who I'm playing around. So going to Aber, I've developed so much because the tempo is quick. I'm playing against girls who are physical. So comparing me to who I was at Johnstown, you can tell there's a lot of change. So Aber was a bright move.
I guess that's testament to your success, personal success. That a Welsh Premier League team was willing to take a chat, take you on as a 15-year-old. Just testament to the levels that you put yourself through, isn't it? So fair play, and it's definitely worth acknowledging that as well, isn't it?
Yeah.
You said earlier there about starting off with the boys team, which I think was quite a familiar story, isn't it, in the girls game. And but I know the FAW changed the rules. I think it was a couple of seasons ago where girls can now play up to under 16s with boys.
Yeah.
Do you think that's a positive thing? And would you have liked to have done that as well as at your age?
Well, I actually went back to play with the boys in under 14s. We had to ask, and then they were like, "Oh yeah, girls can play." So I went back. I think I did 2 seasons with them then, and I left them at the under 15s because my age, all of us went to like different rugby. Some went to Swansea and got contracts there, so we didn't have a team. But I think girls who play with boys, you're going to benefit a bit more because you're getting that quicker tempo, you're getting more physical, you're getting used to, you might not be winning every ball, but you are developing yourself. Because I found coming back into playing with boys, I was like, every boy around me was much bigger than me and more physical. So then I had to like up my game. And then by the end of that season, I realized, playing with boys has benefited me more than I could thought, because the boys around me, they were better than me, they would challenge me, they would foul me at times, but it made me a better player and more of a player that thinks the more you train harder, the better you're going to come out. So playing with boys, I think most girls need to look at it and think, try it out, because it is something that will help you in the long run.
Yeah, definitely. I think you could see. I agree with you. I think the girls who do play boys football, you can see they have got that little bit extra physical strength, haven't they? And it definitely stands them in good stead.
Yeah.
I think one of the kind of contradictory things me personally find, and not necessarily from a league perspective, me personally, is that I think that sometimes girls feel that they have to only play boys or only play girls, and I think it's good when they can do both now, isn't it? That they can, you can play boys on a Saturday and then do girls on a Sunday, because then obviously. Like we spoke about before we started, was the pathway in the girls' game is quite clear, isn't it, to get up to the setup. So, like I said, we're seeing great strides in participation in the female game in the league. Our numbers are increasing year on year, and so can you remember back when you first started in the girls' game? What were numbers like when you first started? How many teams were there, or was there a lot of the quality of players, I guess, and the number of players even?
So I started under 10s with the girls. I remember going down to Pontardawe to play a round robin, about 4 teams. I think it was us, Pontardawe, Mumbles, and I can't remember the other team, but it was just 4 teams, and you play each other once or twice. But you look back then, you would either beat a team quite high or not, because some teams hadn't like developed as much. Like you have the teams who train, the teams who just went there. And now looking at it, like I didn't play in a strong league at under 10s to compare it now. Because in under 10s there was no trophies you could win, but now the under 10s leaguers, they can actually win team events and team games. So like they add up to something like a league. But to compare how many girls team there was back now when I started to compare now, there's like 3 leagues in different areas where I had, because I'm down in Carmarthenshire way, I had to travel to Swansea every Sunday for my games. But now there's a league down where I live, so I don't have to travel all the way to Swansea for one game. I can play in my league and mix with the other leagues. So I think to compare under 10s to under 10 when I started now, there's a lot of difference and it's much better. Yeah,
I think that's something we always find when I'm speaking, because when I first got involved, it was almost just starting, the more teams were coming in. But I guess it was the last year probably of low number of teams. And I think when I speak to coaches now, I think they don't realise how good it is now compared to
Yeah.
just a few years, isn't it? It's but it's great to see there's so many so many girls are playing now, isn't it? Another thing I could say, you were talking about earlier now, you're a great example of someone who's experienced all aspects of the pathway in the female game. You've played for pretty much every team you can, I think, haven't you?
Yeah.
You've played for Westfield Performance Centre, just go through the list here, the schools representative sides, Swansea City Development Centre, and of course the international setup. And I probably missed some teams off the list there. You're probably correct me. But how important do you think that it is for girls to have those opportunities, and like those pathways are there for girls to play?
I think if you're a young girl and you're looking at all the options that are available for you, I think you should try them out, because if I hadn't have gone to West Wales, I wouldn't have gone to play for West Glamorgan, Swansea City, because the options weren't there. Because when you go to like a PC, like I went to West Wales, they take you to games in Cardiff, you get picked up there. So I think I went to play for Swans and one game. I remember loads of girls were there and they're like, oh yeah, well West Wales coaches put us forward. And you just think, okay, like PC, you have something out of it. Because when I was in West Wales, I had the option to go play for Wales under 13s, and I was going up there on like a 2-day camp. But I think like if a young girl is looking at all the aspects, you can go to Swans, West Wales and stuff like that. Like take the option, because it is worth it if you want to play for Wales in the long run, because they are the two options for scouts.
Yeah, definitely. Think I couldn't agree more there. I think it's just great to have so many options for girls now. And that's brilliant. Well, like I said, with all the I guess must have had a lot of experiences through all these these teams and everything. But what's been your best experience, I guess, to date? Have you got any things that stand out for you?
I think it was when I went last year with Swans under 16s playing the Premier League Kick Cup. And obviously Swans coming as a small place. Swansea to compare like Chelsea, Liverpool, who are in our tournament. We got them, we looked at the teams. I think in our league we had Crystal Palace, Liverpool, Tottenham and Middlesbrough and Chelsea in our little group. And obviously being Swansea, you're quite like a small known team. And we got through our group stage beating every team and went to the finals, and we won the whole tournament. And for us to come from like a little small place in Wales to beating teams in London who are well known, it just opened my eyes thinking you can actually achieve something from being in a small little club and area. Because I didn't think like we could actually do it, but then we did it and it opened my eyes thinking like I have achieved something here, and that is my favourite highlight of football, because I've developed myself and opened my eyes about winning something in a small little place. So I think that is my biggest favourite highlight.
That's great. And I think, again, that testifies that Wales, the female game in Wales is catching up a little bit with England, especially, isn't it? I know we're probably a long way off probably in the internationals at the moment. But again, with the 0-0 draw we had in the last, the World Cup campaign, and I guess it's all going in the right direction, isn't it, for the female game in Wales?
Definitely.
What advice do you think would you give to all the young girls that are, maybe just starting out in their football journey? Have you got any advice you could give them?
If you see an option to go play for any club or any performance centre academy, even if you think you're not good enough, still put yourself down there to trial, because it will boost your confidence. You'll come out of there 100% knowing you've learned something from that. So just push yourself as far as you can and challenge yourself to new clubs and new places, because you're getting yourself involved with more stuff and you will develop from it. So definitely don't hold back. If you don't think you're good enough, definitely go for it and try it out.
That's great advice there. What's the future hold for Emily Thomas? What's next on the agenda? Have you got any big plans? I know we spoke off camera about we're friends with Beth McGowan, who's just recently gone up to Arsenal, hasn't she? And any plans like that in the pipeline for yourself?
Well, I did get offered an academy side with Arsenal, similar to what Beth got, but I held back a bit from it, because at the moment I do want to develop myself playing the ladies side of football, not my age of 2 years old. I want to push myself as far as I can. So I think this year staying with Aber, develop myself more, getting more physical, and then hopefully the next season push myself out to something bigger and better. So that's what I'm hoping to do. And get my first team debut in the next 2 or 3 years.
A wise plan of action there. I think that's sounds good, and I'm sure that like all the other teams you've played for, I'm sure you'll get to have every success in that as well. I'm sure. So yeah, finally, just before we finish, lockdown, I saw a few crazes taking place. We had TikTok dances and challenges. Did you do a bit of TikTok at all in lockdown?
A few, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, a few TikToks myself and my friends, and a lot of team TikToks with Abba. Like we did a few challenges, like the kick-up challenges. Just a few little funny stuff to keep us going. But yeah, TikTok has definitely been a help through lockdown, I think.
Oh, but we'll have to go scrolling through your TikTok now and see if we can find one. Unless you want to suggest one you want to put on for a video, or should we just not embarrass you, is it?
No, we'll keep that out.
No worries. So yeah, like you said, one of the other ones with the big one was the toilet roll keep you happy challenge. I know we've spoken. We've had our previous guests on the go, and they're on the leaderboard, and you've said you'll take part as well, but
Yeah.
You're going to send that in to us a little later because you've just got a bit of a knock at the moment, haven't you?
Yeah, I'll do it after now.
We really appreciate you taking the time to speak with us today. It's always great to hear our players from the league getting on, and I think it's important for the current girls to see the successes that you yourself and all the other girls are doing, because it's just something to aspire to, isn't it? And I think it's just great for everyone to see how well that girls from our league can go on to have a lot of success, and so I think it's really important. So yeah, thank you very much for taking the time to speak to us today.
It's fine, thank you.